Today I chat with Seikot Alam, a young man who completed his degree in accounting in Sydney but realised there was no realistic pathway for migration if he remained living there. He went on to complete a Certificate 3 in Personal Care Working Support and then set his sights in Tasmania for possible sponsorship for the 491 visa. Late last year he received his sponsorship and applied for the 491 visa, and this is his story about how he found moving to Tasmania and how he achieved his goals. Seikot, why did you choose Tasmania to move to above all the other states?
When I was making that decision, New South Wales had that clause that I have to work in my skill occupation. The occupation I'm nominating, I have to work on that occupation list. So I wasn't really confident to get a job on my skill occupation in New South Wales because a lot of people are trying. So without the skill occupation I'm doing, I had only two options to either move to Northern Territory or Tasmania. And Northern Territory had 2 years of timeline to apply for 491, and Tasmania had only 1 year. But then again, Tasmania, when I asked a lot of people, they say Tasmania, a lot of people are getting rejected, so you should better move to Darwin. So I was really confused. But when I saw the quote, they have a quota for each year that state can nominate that many people. Then I figured out like Northern Territory had only 500 quota, whereas Tasmania had almost 2,000. So it's like almost 4 times. And again, I have only 1 year to get my nomination done. When Northern Territory, I have 2 years. So even if Tasmania reject my nomination, I'll have more time to gather all my documents. Probably I can do it again in the next year. But whereas Darwin will take 2 years. So yeah, after thinking all these things, I thought Tasmania would be better than other states.
How did you feel when you first arrived there?
People are very welcoming. I found that they are very welcoming, surprisingly. Yeah, like I had a lot of experience with people. I worked in retail for 3 months. So I had to talk to a lot of people, for making sales and everything. Surprisingly, everyone treated me like I'm one of them. I didn't had a feeling that I'm an outsider and those kind of things. That's the thing about, all the people and everything about Tasmania.
What were your plans to get sponsorship from the Tasmanian government?
So my primary focus was to get a work, to get employed first. The main thing about getting work is so many people stuck in Hobart. So they don't want to move out from Hobart because I know maybe it's out of their comfort zone if they move out from Hobart. But I had that idea on my mind, like anywhere in Tasmania, I'll move out because I already moved out from Sydney. So it doesn't matter if I move out from Hobart. So I applied a lot of places and I got response from Launceston, and then I moved out from Hobart to Launceston. And by the time I moved out to Launceston, I figured out the work I have, it maybe wouldn't be helping me in my nomination. Then I tried to switch my career, switch my work into the critical sector. But luckily I had the Certificate 3. Like in Sydney, I had it already done. But I didn't have any experience. I just had the course. If you want to work in disability or aged care, you have to have the certificate. There's a minimum qualification, the Certificate 3 or Certificate 4 in individual care. Yeah, I had that when I was in Sydney. Luckily, it actually worked out in here because aged care and disability sector, at that time, it was a COVID time, like a couple of months ago, like 6 or 7 months ago. They're putting a lot of priorities into those kind of work. They're still actually put higher priorities in this kind of work rather than other work, like if you work in a supermarket or anywhere else. So that was my second goal, to work in this kind of industry. When I realized that I actually have to do something better than retail job because everyone was almost doing retail job. And moved out from Launceston eventually because the thing is, when you have that on your mind that you can move out anywhere, there are a lot of jobs outside of Hobart, Launceston. People just don't apply sometimes because the area, they don't want to go there.
Is it as hard to find a place to rent as what people say?
Time I moved in, actually, it wasn't that hard because the state was locked. When I came in, I was actually on quarantine for 14 days. So not many people were coming that time. But if you ask me right now, it is actually hard because especially those areas outside of Hobart and Launceston, because nowadays people realize that if you work in a regional Tasmania, you'll have more priorities in your application. So many people are trying to move in this kind of regional areas. But I'm not sure about Hobart or Launceston. I know that the rent is pretty high. It's actually, rent is almost similar like Sydney. Sometimes it's more than Sydney. surprisingly. Yeah. So there's the fact. But right now, I don't know about Hobart or Launceston, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit tougher than before.
When you went to Tasmania, were you looking to meet the work experience requirement or the study requirement as well?
When I came in here, before I came in, I enrolled into my course. So I didn't know that I would be employed. I could have I could be employed after 1 month. So I started my course. I actually had both of the criteria. I could have applied as a 6 months full-time work or 1 year graduate stream, but I tried to apply through graduate stream because I thought, if I work through work stream, it would be only I'll be showing just my work. But if I apply through graduate stream, I could show them that I worked and also studied. More priorities probably. So I know many of the people, they work in aged care or disability. If they don't study, what they do, they work 35 hours each week and they apply after 6 months. There's a lot of people I've seen which they are doing. But yeah, that's the thing. I didn't want to take the risk. Like, let's say if I don't have the job for like 1 week or something, if I go down after 35 hours, then what will happen? That's why I would just keep studying.
Are you finding that your co-workers been successful just using the work pathway?
That's a surprising fact. I will share you that I applied on 4th of August 2021 when that was the date they opened for the new financial year. There were a lot of other people who also applied. There are a lot of people, a lot of co-workers. I work in aged care. They also applied around 4th of August or 5th of August through work stream, not as a graduate stream. They actually got the nomination before me. And I was actually really stressed out because then I started to think, did I actually apply in the wrong stream? Because it was taking more time than them. Then it's maybe just, it's maybe just a prediction, but I personally think if you apply to work stream with the same job and everything, maybe they will look into your file sooner than the graduate stream, because there are a lot of applicants in graduate stream rather than the work stream. Not many people are working 6 months full time. I actually talked to a lot of guys and that's what they said. Like, they working for 6 months and they applied after me. Same kind of qualification and everything, same kind of workplace I work, but they got it before me. Yeah, I couldn't actually, know that why is that? Then I figured out, it's different stream, that's why.
Would you recommend Tasmania to someone like yourself who's thinking about going there right now?
I think yes. Tasmania, it depends what is its priority. Like, my priority was nomination at any cost. So like, I had enough savings. If I had to sit down and like just study for 1 year, I don't have any work, I would have done that. I had the financial capacity too. So like, if your nomination is like, I want to get the nomination, doesn't matter anything else, I think they should come in here because they have more quota, more job opportunities. And if you follow the webinar, till now, out of 100 applicants, 60 of them are getting 491, 40 of them is getting rejected. So that's another thing to consider as well. So like, whenever people are coming in, they have to think like, what can I bring into Tasmania? Like, out of 100 people, how can I be in 60 people, not in 40 people? Because like, I had certificate 3, not maybe all the people have certificate 3 on individual care. So yeah, that's a very, very tough question to answer actually. Depends on the circumstances. If they are like me, I think they should come in here rather than, if you ask me about comparing the state, if they are confused about moving Darwin and Tasmania, I will say, of course, Tasmania, come in here better than Darwin, because heaps of time, you maybe after 2 years you'll get rejected. But in here, there is a possibility after 1 year you can get it. New South Wales, they're so inconsistent. So I was like, no, I'm not going there just to have that hope that they might be also giving nomination away this year too. So yeah, as I said, I really wanted 491. So the best option I had is Tasmania. So I just moved in.
You often hear that Tasmania doesn't have enough jobs. So what do you think?
But there are, as I said, there are a lot of rumors about Tasmania that Tasmania doesn't have enough jobs. That's the most rumor you'll probably listen out there. But I don't think that's true. As long as you have that mentality that, okay, no matter where I'm moving out, I'll just move because I got to work.
Is moving regional in Tasmania the way to go?
If you have that mentality, then I think it's not that tough to have you working here. There are a lot of jobs in Burnley actually. Like, a couple of weeks ago, people were like, I actually left another job and that contractor was trying to contact me to give him some other people, but I couldn't find anyone. Yeah, they struggle sometimes to find people too. So nobody knows about that.
Since you're working in the aged care sector, did you find your co-workers obtained sponsorship as well?
So anyone who applied through aged care or disability support worker, I haven't heard anyone is getting rejected. Everyone was, because the aged care I work more than 20 to 30 people who applied like me. And another aged care I also has another 30 to 50 people like me. And they also have nurses, enrolled nurses. Everyone got 190 or 491, whatever they applied. Nobody was rejected. Nobody, like not a single person. Thank you, Carl. Have a good day.